3, 2, 1, action.
Hello, my name is Francisco, and I will be telling you in my presentation about how measurement systems have evolved from ancient times to modern times. Well, the first thing people ask me is, why were measurement systems developed? Well, in ancient times, there will always be a question about how long or how big the object was. Measurement was based on a person's perspective because some people had short arms, some people had long arms, where now there are tools to aid you. Measurement systems were developed because standardization, because of the fact that everything would not be exact and that objects, like buildings, would not be symmetric and identical. Measurement systems are also used for roads for showing the measurements between one location and another. How does the amount of variation that can be measured depend on the precision of the measuring tool, you ask? Well, simple measuring tools like a ruler lack the precision of a more advanced device, such as the caliper, leaving crucial measurements that a caliper would find. A ruler is used for basically measuring linear objects, while on the other hand, a caliper is used for measuring three-dimensional objects that can be both linear and non-linear. Unfortunately, precision is hard to obtain because many variations can affect your measurements. For example, using the incorrect tool or different temperatures expanding or decreasing the size of the object. Well, here's an example of a more modern way of using advanced tools for discovering measurements. In this case, ensuring that the dimensions are correct is very crucial. This will affect whether your product is going to be liked or sold in store shelves. Well, here's another example of using measuring devices to correctly obtain dimensions. This product must be measured and converted exactly, or there will be deformities and incorrect pieces. This also gives an example of the communication process that happens between foreign countries. Communication is ideal in creating products because the United States has a different measurement system than the rest of the world, such as Europe using the metric system. In this example, it is converting metric to English. Here's another example of converting, but rather metric into English. How can statistical analysis of measurements help verify the quality of a design or process? While using statistical analysis, it lets you compare your device to the standard and acceptable measurements, showing you the flaws and what needs to be improved to manufacture the device before actually manufacturing the final product and sending it out to store shelves worldwide. If the project is inaccurately analyzed and tested, the object can become very dangerous and even cause fatalities. How are statistics commonly used in the manufacturing processes to control and maintain quality? It is a necessity to have a statistical analysis of your product because it may affect whether you will make money or lose it. If you do not have the product tested and it does not meet certain requirements, when the product gets into the customer's hands, there might be something wrong and even cause deaths. Inspecting your product and having a statistical analysis will affect whether you make profit or have a lawsuit on your front desk. This is an example of when an engineer does not follow the requirements using a statistical analysis and how it can turn into a gruesome situation. Well, in 2007, Black & Decker was forced to recall the Grasshawk XP string trimmers and edgers. There were 707 reported incidents in which 58 of them were counted as injuries. The recall was due to the machine being a projectile and laceration hazard, as well as a burn hazard. Inspectors could have resolved the problem by easily testing the device several more times and also do a visual analysis to see if there were anything loose that could become projectiles causing injury. With just a few more hours on the workbench, this product could have been saved and still be on store shelves. Well, this is a puzzle cube statistical analysis that we did in class. Well, here's our puzzle cube. The quality of a product is established based on how well the measurements are. Based on a product's dimensions, it can affect the final product's quality. If there are any faults in the dimensions, there will be a defect that will cause you to change the entire design. Unfortunately, some measurements are needed to be changed. When determining the quality of the product, you must first remove those pieces that do not fit. Measurements that are not close to the requirement or the average must be removed, or it will cause mistakes, altering the design in the final product. When utilizing statistical analysis in the design process, engineers can determine the quality of the product to find whether it meets the expectations or requirements, but if it does not meet the requirements, it must go back to the design process to resolve the problem. Well, in our statistical analysis, we found that based on the acceptable range of the values between the red lines that you see behind me, that only 0.407% or 27 of 27 cubes were actually acceptable. If all data values were compiled together, the highest point would be in the middle of those two lines, 0.750. Statistics like these are very useful and applicable during the design process because they will determine whether the product can be sold and put on store shelves. Well, other than dial calipers, what kind of tools are used to precisely measure objects for purposes of quality control? Another tool for precisely measuring objects are depth gauges and also indicators. Well, this is the end of our presentation, and I hope you liked it.